Big question is, will they make it? They told us without a doubt they will be here at tonight's show running full throttle.
We got here on Monday about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. We drug it out of the trailer. We looked over the whole truck and seen what parts we needed from the get-go. Yeah, basically it's going to stay just like it is, and hopefully he won't roll it again. We're going to try to do our best, man, and try to get this thing loaded up by 11 or 12 o'clock tonight, you know, so we can head on over to the Astrodome for this weekend.
We have some drama in Houston before we even get our show started tonight. Will Gravedigger make it? That is the big question as we get ready for some great monster truck action tonight here in Houston's Astrodome. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Hogwood, along with Scott Douglas. Whether or not Gravedigger is going to make our show tonight, we've got some awesome competition here.
Absolutely. Gravedigger wants to get here because all the big guns are here, including his arch rival Monster Patrol. You know, these two have been battling all year long for the points battle. Jim Jack brings the Reptoid out of Florida. Haven't seen Jim in a while. He really wants to put on a good show tonight. Alan Pizzo is back with that awesome black cat known as the Predator. We'll also get our first look in quite some time here on Motor Madness at Little Tiger. Brian Barthel is back. One of the regulars who's having a great year, Dan Patrick and Sampson is in the house, and we'll be seeing the Prowler, of course.
And how about the Carolina Crusher? Always a fan favorite, always a contender to pull it out. And Crusher wants to move up in the standings a bit tonight. Also, we'll see Gunslinger. Gunslinger has made a move in the point standings of late. Barefoot, always a competitor on these types of courses. And some underdogs, how about King Crunch? He's got a big motor under the hood ready to go. And again, the story is Gravedigger.
No question, and Gravedigger has a huge point lead as we're going to take a look at the first 5 in the standings, but Monster Patrol could make up a lot of ground if Digger is unable to make it here to Houston. In the second 5, you can see Carolina Crusher has been a man on the move. Bulldozer drops out of the top 10 this week.
All right, Scott, I'm excited. I know you are. We're getting ready for some monster truck action here in Houston tonight.
Brought to you by Eagle One. Are you ready for the attention?
The great city of Houston as we return here on Motor Madness. Looking forward to the action tonight here in the Astrodome. Of course, the story's been Gravedigger.
And look who's in the house.
Hey,
He's made it.
listen to the crowd. Let's go to Dan Moriarty.
Well, Dennis Anderson and Team Gravedigger have made it to the Astrodome. The question is now, are they 100%? Mike and Scott, take it away. This place is electric.
You really can feel it here. It is something. There's Dennis Anderson. He's got to be excited tonight.
Excited and exhausted. You know how hard they've crashed this week, and he's got the best to go up against. Dan Patrick with Sampson coming into the house.
You got to make clean runs here. It's an extremely fast course.
What's it going to take to beat the Gravedigger checkered flag winner from last week?
Well, my paid truck is going to have to run real good to beat him, and I just got to get down at that one corner down there. It's kind of sticky down there, and wants to get up on 2 wheels, but he can be beat.
Is the Digger right now ready to take on all comers tonight?
No doubt. There ain't no question about it. I mean, we don't have a choice. We're here to race, and we got one eye knocked out, one headlight, so some of the fans out there thinking we're only 50%, but we may not be 100, but we're about 99.5%.
There is Monster Patrol. A great-looking truck. Paul Schaefer's done a great job this year. Let's learn more about this winged warrior.
Everybody laughs about that wing, but it does work. If you watch my truck will probably fly so even that's unreal. Believe it or not, that puts 481 pounds down pressure on the back of this thing at 60 mile an hour. I had this truck up to about 97 mile an hour. Mine will go over the cars completely level and hit the ground. Scare you to death the first time you drive, and after a while you say, well, if I crash, I crash. You don't worry about it. Right. You just go out and hammer it. We'll get the truck going about 10 mile an hour and jump up on the wing and do a little wing surf. And they like it, and it's unique.
Yeah, Scott, I'd like to see you do some wing surfing here sometime. Boy,
Leave that to Paul for right now.
looks like trouble. Well, Monster Patrol, as we look at the brackets, has a bye run.
Paul Schaefer getting ready. Of course, this is one of the tough veterans. Paul Schaefer running the Monster Patrol, former world champion mud racer with the Mud Patrol operation. But, well, I'll tell you, he's really achieved new heights with this Monster Patrol machine.
And while he doesn't have any competition, it is important that he has to stay on course. He does have to complete the run to advance on into the next round, so he has to be a bit careful here.
Also a great advantage, too. He gets to come out and feel this course right now in a live racing situation, but if he makes a mistake, he won't lose as long as he stays on the course.
Well, you're watching Monster Patrol and Paul Schaefer trying to advance to the second round. Boy, he took his time taking that turn, didn't he?
Perfect example of the fact that, you know, now he's got a better feel of what he's going to need to do going into that turn. If he's racing somebody, he probably loses that race.
Again, we do run a U course here in the Astrodome, and Paul Schaefer with bye round has made it through. We'll take a look at it again, and what you want to look at is how careful he is when he gets down here to the turn.
Just trying to get a feel for how tacky the dirt is down there, if he's going to be able to slide that back through the turn, and what it's going to take to negotiate the U-turn part of the course, as we've seen all year long. So many races are won and lost on the U-turn. You know, we were in Houston at the start of the year, and it's a horsepower track.
And a reminder that tonight's Monster Trucks are all competing for a portion of the $100,000 Pace Motorsports Monster Jam points fund. We'll be back.
How much dirt's out here?
A lot of dirt, about 400 truckloads. This is about 4,000 cubic yards of dirt. It's about half of the dirt that we would use when we come in for a Supercross. Well, it takes about 72 hours to get it in and get it set up. The Astrodome is one of the easier buildings because it's got a concrete floor, so you can actually put the dirt down. Now, when we go into a place like Anaheim Stadium or San Diego or the Citrus Bowl in Florida, where you actually go in on top of live grass, if we're going to be in there quickly, we'll go in and we'll lay down protective material, and sometimes it takes 8,000 to 10,000 sheets of plywood. Our guys come in, they are specialists. They try to work to be sure that the jumps are shaped just right and located properly with enough takeoff area and landing area. And it's not a perfect science, but we work at it every week.
It is amazing how they set up these trucks.
It's incredible.
All right, let's get down to some more Monster Truck racing. Alan Pizzo pilots Predator. He's ready to go into battle.
Where do you buy one of those 1998 kitties? That's what they, you know, model of the truck. 1998 kitty. It's a unique design. It's Reptoid.
And Reptoid, Jim and Linda Jack are the owners of it. Husband and wife team. Jim Jack been in the competition about 5 years. He's definitely the underdog in this. Predator and Alan Pizzo have done well on several different occasions, but Predator and Reptoid ready to go. And again, we have a U course, and the first one back is the winner. As you can see, a packed house here in the Astrodome tonight, and we are ready to go.
Predator got off to an excellent start out of the hole. Jim Jack, who's been known to pull an upset or two in his time, did not get the great start, and now he's knocked over the turning pole. That's going to take him out.
Yeah, you saw the turning pole go down there when he made the turn, and it's going to be a disqualification for Reptoid. So Predator will be declared the winner here, and I think it was just a matter of really trying too hard, wanting too much to make that turn.
You were talking about Jim Jack being the underdog, and he normally is, but he also has been known to pull off the big upset. He had a shot here. He had Predator in his sights, and really the turning pole is not what gave him the win. He came across the line in first place, but the rule is clearly you can't knock over that turning pole. Now watch Alan Pizzo on the isolated run as he makes the turn nice and smoothly, and most importantly, does not hit that turning pole, finishes up strong, and he'll get the win.
In all of these U courses, that turn is absolutely the key, and it was Predator who made it smoothly, and he goes on to the winner. All right, here's Sampson. Dan Patrick at the controls. Dan, one of our favorite guys around here. What a great guy he is, just with everybody. And Sampson's got a lot of power. And Little Tiger by Brian Barthel is the driver there. And you talk about an underdog. Little Tiger is definitely the underdog to Dan Patrick and Sampson here.
You know, we've seen Little Tiger a couple times on Motor Madness, and he's been strong. He's been able to run with the big boys, but so far hasn't been able to break through with that, you know, kind of momentum-carrying monumental win. He'd love to knock Sampson off here on national TV.
Really doesn't have the horsepower under the hood near what Dan Patrick has. And in the turn, Little Tiger making an effort, but Sampson is just too strong flying over that last pack of cars, and it's Sampson and Dan Patrick winning here.
That's what you call styling and profiling as you head on out of the arena. Let's look at Little Tiger, though, as Brian Barthel. He'll get up on the back wheels. This is where you don't want to be. You're losing power when you're only on two wheels. That cost him maybe just enough to lose the race. You can see Patrick wins it by probably about 3 lengths and then gives that power wheelie right on out the door here at the Astrodome.
Drove right out of the arena. And here's another look at Sampson and Dan Patrick. You know, we were talking earlier that Dan hasn't won one of these Motor Madness events. This might be the night here in Houston. Let's hear from Dan Patrick on his run.
You were moving out there.
Well, there's only one way to win here, and that's go fast. And so there's 2 ways of screwing up here, going too fast and dumping it or missing a turn. So you got to make clean runs here. It's an extremely fast course. In the first round, you got to win the first round or you don't have the option of a fast loser. So you lose the first round, you set for the night. So, I mean, you had to act the first round like it was the last round.
Well, Dan Patrick a winner, and we've got more. First round action. TNN's Motor Madness Monster Jam straight ahead. Pep Boy. Time now for United States Hot Rod Association update. And our USHRA update takes us to Atlanta.
Steve Woodard and the ground pounders gets the Georgia Dome crowd on its feet with something he didn't want to do. It's putting her on her lid.
And pounding the ground there, huh?
Gravedigger was ready, and Dennis Anderson in front of the Atlanta crowd able to head to victory lane with another victory for the Big Green Machine. Gunslinger and Freestyle having fun, though.
We had some great freestyling in Atlanta with Gunslinger, Overkill as well. Fun night in Atlanta. And that's our USHRA update. Look at that.
And Ford go on his top there. Yeah. Kirk Dabney having to do a little repairs to the Overkill machine.
All right, we're ready to get back to round 1 action in Monster Truck. It's Carolina Crusher and Prowler. Dave Pizzo at the wheel of Prowler. He's ready to go.
Teammate of the Predator, so they run as a team, and for years he actually ran with in the Predator machine. Now they have 2. As you can see, the start pole hasn't lasted long tonight. Dave Pizzo ready to go. He'll look at the lights, though. Won't worry about the start pole. Gary Porter, one of the all-time great veterans in this sport.
Out of Wadesboro, North Carolina, which is kind of near Rockingham and the North Carolina Motor Speedway there. And Carolina Crusher, always a fan favorite all over the country, and Prowler, I love the look of this truck. It is
awesome new machine. Truck. Absolutely. But Crusher is one of those that has gone to the roots forever. It's been a stock Chevrolet, a stock appearing Chevrolet, and I think that's what so many people love about Carolina Crusher. Gary Porter, just a no-nonsense guy. He just goes to win.
All right, now it's horsepower as they're making the turn. It looks like it is all Carolina Crusher. Whoa! Oh, my. Oh, no.
Wow, listen to this crowd. They're going nuts. And so Gary's all right. The top of the machine is sheared, but you can see the roll cage held intact. So let's keep an eye out as Gary is moving around, and that looks good. The U.S. Hot Rod officials right on the scene talking to him. Everything looks okay, and the word we're getting is he's okay. But, you know, it just maybe was too much horsepower at the end. He really hammered the last shot.
He really hammered that throttle down that after he made the turn. And then I think trying to get stopped a little bit, he just, we'll look at it again, he just went over as he got up on one wheel. There it is. He comes over. He's so hot when he came up over that last jump. He just could not get stopped right, and he landed on those 2 wheels, and went over. What a tough break for Carolina Crusher.
You just never know. Sometimes it just takes a weird bounce to get you started the wrong way. He knows he's in trouble. He's trying to power out, but he's in the point of no return at that point.
So a big break for Dave Pizzo, and Dan Moriarty has Dave.
You had a good race. You had a clean race. You get in because the other guy does one of the most incredible finishes we've ever seen. Did you see it from where you were sitting?
Yeah, as I hit the finish line, I looked over and I seen Gary flopping over on his roof.
What were you thinking?
I'd hate to see. I'm hoping he didn't get hurt. I hope everybody's, that he's all right. That's the first thing to go through your mind. Then when I pull up there, I could see him moving around, so I knew he was all right.
Well, let's face it, it happens to all you guys. No one wants to get hurt. But did it look really cool from your perspective?
Oh yeah, I mean, you hate to see people turn over because it's so expensive to fix the trucks to get them, ready for next week.
But now you move on to the next round. Your cousins moved on to the next round. You got two guys going, and you have Sampson, who looked pretty darn strong in his first run.
Yeah, he had a lot of power there with that Keith Black Hemi engine there.
How's the Prowler feel to you going down the straightaway and hitting that hairpin turn?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm kind of recovering from the flu here for the last day or so, but I think we'll do all right.
Now, don't talk too loud, because if you get too close to the camera, you get our audience sick. And he's been sick for a while, which just shows you these guys will run under any conditions. The reason he's really here, he wants to kick his cousin's butt. That's really what it is, right?
Definitely. I want to see him in the final round in my rearview mirror.
There you have it. These guys, blood, friendship, they don't give a damn. Back upstairs to you guys.
And Dan is all fired up tonight, isn't he? It's
a lot of work to go, though, before we see Prowler and Predator in the final. There's an awful lot of good trucks. Let's look at the Carolina Crusher once again. Everything looks great. Gary Porter was just having a super run, and he really hit the throttle. But as you can see in the air, he started to turn sideways, and that just kind of got the equilibrium off. Then he was too far left, too far right. Now he's on his roof.
But the good news is that Gary Porter is okay after that wild ride. Dan has Gary.
You may be out for the night, but boy, are you entertaining.
Wow, to tell you, it's been a rough year for me so far. Seems like I can't do anything right. That last run, I had to race one, come over that last jump, landed sort of sideways, broke a rear steering cylinder, and it made the rear tires turn, and I stayed with it as long as I could. And I was getting over there toward the wall and seeing those other trucks, and I just let go of it, let the truck go ahead and turn over.
What now?
Well, I'm gonna have to regroup, go back home, get some more parts, visit my local Napa store, and we'll come back out again next weekend.
Tough break indeed for Gary Porter. Out definitely tonight, and you see him here. Things broke, and then he said, hey, I just kind of let it go over. We'll be back with more of TNN's Motor Madness Monster Jam from the Houston Astrodome in a moment.
TNN Friday night. I just want to celebrate.
A high-flying, full-speed, car-crashing madness you love on TNN is coming at you as the monster trucks visit your town. Plus, don't miss Quad Wars, Street Warriors, thrills, and more. You can get your tickets for the best USHRA racing at pacemotorsports.com.
Let's take you back last week to New Orleans. Gunslinger had a great run, made it to the semifinals, but then lost to Grave Digger. Gunslinger is, I think, one of the favorites here in Houston, but he's got a tough first-round battle. Gunslinger and Scott Hartsook at the controls going up against Barefoot. Hartsook has been running well, but he's got his work cut out for him.
Well, as we saw in Motor Madness, he won in San Antonio, he won in Indianapolis. Goes up against the guy, though, who won the first time we were here in Houston, back in early January at the start of the year on Motor Madness. Todd Frolick with that huge Keith Black Hemi engine inside the Barefoot from Pontoon Beach, Illinois.
And some of these trucks do run better in certain courses, in certain arenas than others.
Absolutely.
And here in Houston, watch out for Barefoot.
We're going to keep an eye on him right now as Frolick pulls to the line. The Slinger's been hot, but again, Barefoot kind of figures this is his home place. He's had great success here. Set a world long jump record in this building, as a matter of fact.
Gunslinger gets up a bit on those back wheels. That's going to hurt his time a little, and it is indeed. Gunslinger back behind. He is not going to win. It is Barefoot. Barefoot takes it here in round one. Todd Frolic keeps his streak in Houston going with a big win in this first round.
Oh, look at the replay here. It almost looked like Gunslinger made up significant ground on that final straightaway, which is not what we saw Barefoot doing the first time we were here at the Astrodome. You'll remember Barefoot kept pulling away. Here, Gunslinger almost caught it.
Really did. It was a great effort by Gunslinger at the end, but Todd Frolic was just too much. And I thought got off to too good of a start. It was hit that turn a little early and then just held on that final straightaway.
Another situation we see on the isolated replay, Gunslinger got on those back wheels again, and that can cost you some time.
Notice that right away that Gunslinger did not have a really good start, and that killed him in this run. And it's Barefoot who moves on. Todd Frolic out of Illinois.
Into the turn, he kind of babies it just a little bit, but he still got enough to hold the lead. And I'll tell you, great race. Only a half-length victory, but it's a win for Barefoot.
Oh, it has to be an excited Todd Frolic. Let's check in with him now.
All right, you guys know this face? That's right. Last time in Houston, he took it. You're on a lull for the past few weeks, but that first run, what was that all about?
Well, we got to get after this thing. We've had a couple bad weeks. We're letting the Barefoot fans down, you know. Everybody else is stepping it up and running hard, and I just ain't been able to. It's been me. I mean, the truck can do it. We all know that, so I'm going to try to do it here in Houston again.
A couple of the guys said after the first round, you know, Todd right now is probably running the most power of all 11 trucks tonight. The thing is, he's got to watch out. That corner down there. Can't go too much power there, or you see what happens.
Hey, I've been watching Dennis power through them corners, and I'm kind of getting the urge to do it myself. I think I can run her pretty hard down through there, and hopefully we come out a winner the next round and just keep on working. I got my lucky hat on again this week, and maybe it'll help.
How about the lucky flag, though, on the back of Dennis's truck, the new checkered flag that you guys are fighting over?
Well, he needs all the luck he can get this week. We're gonna go after it, and hopefully we'll get them Barefoot fans back.
You got it, Ty. Keep going.
All right, King Crunch has his work cut out. He's got to go up against Gravedigger in round one. Let's find out more about Scott Stevens in our Jam Pack.
We got to come out here and give the people a good show. Now, that was the most fun I had in 10 years in a monster truck. I mean, it's like when you get your helmet and you pull in there and there's 50,000 people, and you probably go back to a 10-year-old playing with a Tonka toy, and it's like, you know, our toys are just a little bigger and a little faster and truly a lot more expensive. It's the same thing, and you just want to go out there and play and have fun. Business-wise, you think, golly, we're idiots out here tearing these $200,000 trucks up. But, you know, it's still, we're just kids, and we want to be sure that 60-year-old guy in the crowd, you know, for that 2 hours, he's a kid too, and we're out there playing with his Tonka toys. It's neat to know that, you know, the people that are in a whole different spectrum enjoy what you're doing, and I guess that makes you feel good that, you know, somebody saying, hey, you know, something he's doing is for real.
Well, there is a flag behind Gravedigger. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, that checkered flag that's been hidden and traveling around, and, well, it's kind of boldly displayed right now, isn't it?
It's been brought back out, and now Dennis Anderson is going to try to keep it, because if he gets beat tonight, somebody else is going to take it with him, or if he gets beat next week. Whoever can get the flag away from him is the key, and Scott Stevens would like to be the first to do it.
Yeah, you saw a shot of Scott Stevens, and he's getting a little help, something not quite right on that machine, so there's some few adjustments right before he rolls off here. Scott Stevens already in the cockpit there, and there's Dennis Anderson. We documented early in the show the repairs that had to be made after the accident last week in New Orleans. Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger. It is missing a headlight, but as Dennis said, it's 99.9% ready to rock and roll here tonight.
Headlight's not going to slow the Gravedigger down, and we'll see exactly what percentage his racing capability is. You know, King Crunch looks like he's going to be okay. Basically what happened, he pulls to the line, and the U.S. Hot Rod officials, as they do on all trucks, test the remote ignition interrupter that lets him shut down a truck should it get in trouble by remote control. For some reason, he couldn't fire back up, and you see he got a lot of help from Alan Pizzo and Predator and others.
Great start by Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger. He's in the turn. This is where he's strong. Digger is out in front as they make the turn over that last set of cars, and Gravedigger, for right now, is going to hold on to that flag. Dennis Anderson, a little battered and bruised, but he's okay.
Last week's flip didn't hurt the racing ability of the Gravedigger. Still, nobody turns a truck like Dennis Anderson. Look, already at the front of the truck, just a little bit of that sheet metal breaking away.
We look at it again, and again, they've worked all week trying to repair that truck, Dennis Anderson and his crew. And he's still running pretty strong, still got that strong motor, and it's still got one of the best, Dennis Anderson, at the wheel.
And can he turn the truck or what? He really picks up momentum in the turn. Everybody else seems to be slowing down. Dennis seems to get faster. Let's watch King Crunch on the get off the start. He got out of the gate real well. Scott Stevens, kind of a hometown boy out of Texas, Spring, Texas, here in Houston, wanting to do well. He gave it a good run, but anytime you go up head-to-head with Dennis Anderson, you know you really better come with your A game, and Scott just a little bit short at the finish.
So Gravedigger advances on to round 2 as we watch again. And again, you will see it's not the normal Gravedigger that you would see in a normal show on here on Motor Madness, because he has tried to repair that truck all week. So there's still a little sheet metal flopping around and some of it missing in places. But Dennis Anderson, the winner here nonetheless.
Looked pretty solid for a truck you just finished putting together last night.
Yeah, it is. You know, you got a few little rough edges on it. Track feels pretty good. I was kind of looking for my turning spot down there. We got a lot of obstacles on the course when you make the turn, but if I get a good routine down, I think we might pull off a win here tonight, and I'll be able to hang on to that flag for a while.
We talk about the flag. What does that flag mean to you guys? I mean, there's 11 of you out here now all gunning for that.
Well, see, we started a flag a long time ago. Then we didn't have a flag for a while, and the flag's kind of like in the old wrestling federation, you used to get the belt. Well, we've got the flag now, and the flag is cool. You're Mr. Barney Bad if you can keep that flag for several weekends in a row. Me and Porter we've always had a little spiff going back and forth between us, even back in the old TNT days, you know. So I've got the flag now, one last weekend. Now all I got to do is hang on to it, and everybody's gunning for that flag. It makes them run harder.
At the top of the show, I was saying, you know what? I'm not sure if Team Gravedigger can go 100% because of last week's wreck. You proved me wrong.
Yeah, hey, the truck ran strong. It felt good, and heck, they're checking out the suspension. I said earlier, you know, in an interview that I done, the shock valve, and we changed it a little bit. It's, tell you the truth, I kind of got a little slapped on that run right there, nose and over, but I don't know, it felt pretty good. Felt pretty standard to me.
Yeah, good run by Dennis Anderson. Hey, coming up, got one of my favorites, Pro Stadium Trucks. We're fired up here on Motor Madness.
Brought to you.
As we return to TNN's Motor Madness, will the Supercross King be crowned tomorrow night in New Orleans? Get your tickets at pacesupercross.com and check it out live. See what the hype is all about. Don't forget, you can listen to the live Supercross webcast at pacesupercross.com, 10:30 p.m. Eastern every Saturday night.
Mike Hogwood and Scott Douglas here as we get ready for Pro Stadium Trucks in the Astrodome. There's Old Yeller. Scooter Hot Shoe Holder had flipped that truck over. Ow.
Yeah, the hot shoe didn't help him that time.
I did not.
Just again, kind of like we've seen with some of the monster trucks. When you get up on those two wheels and the weight and the momentum are going that way, you're in the land of no return.
That happened in qualifying, and so we won't see Hot Shoe here in our action tonight. Here are the semifinals, Tough and Ugly going up against Cage and Spice.
Dan Sutter out of Memphis, Tennessee, and that big orange Tough and Ugly machine actually was well behind on the first part of the course, but Sutter really came on strong, gets the victory, and moves into this championship race in the Houston Astrodome. The other semifinal matching Beetlejuice with Twister 3.
And Beetlejuice putting on a strong performance. Beetlejuice driven by Patrick Rudisell out of Louisiana. It's a good-looking truck. And it's Beetlejuice who comes on to take the win.
Kind of a surprise as strong as Thomas Ray White has been out of Fayetteville, North Carolina in the Twister 3 machine, but Beetlejuice had his number in Houston. That set up a final. Beetlejuice in the green, the Tough and Ugly Chevrolet, the big orange machine out of Tennessee.
That's Rudisell, who is in the near lane, as you can see. And Tough and Ugly getting a little air going over those cars.
Dan Sutter's having a super year, and he's really coming on strong now. Another victory for the Tough and Ugly Chevrolet out of Memphis.
Well, our Pro Stadium Trucks, our congratulations today. And we got more monster truck action. It's coming on the way here on Motor Madness Monster Jam.
I saw you looking for change.
Time for our U.S. Off-Road update. Vancouver, British Columbia, we had some exciting action. Here go the Thunder Bikes.
North of the border with the awesome Thunder Bikes, lots of air and lots of ground pounding too, as you can see. In the end, Scott Myers comes away as the winner. Spud Walters, though, still on top in the points.
Yeah, Spud's having a great season. So is Chris Knox in that Thunder Bike category. Here's the Pro Quads going after it, and this is always an exciting event, and there are always a few spills and guys running into each other, and this is really competitive. Jeremy Schell is having a good year. He's our Pro Quad winner in Vancouver, but Tim Farr maintains the points lead by only 30 points over Jeremy Schell. Time for our Jargon Jam. You heard him talking about thrashing? Let's find out more.
Thrash is something that happens back here in the pits, or it might happen right on the arena floor. It's when a truck's tore up or you got something going wrong, everybody's thrashing to put it back together. That's when you'll find a lot of these teams will help out little guys like me. Anything it takes, get it back together, get out there, because these people want to see monster trucks.
We've been thrashing all week, you know, just to get this job done, so we can go out there and please our fans.
Okay, well, we've had a major thrash all week.
We start about 7 in the morning till whenever we decide to quit. And usually that's probably about 10, 11 o'clock at night.
You have a thrash session, and you know, it's where everybody is just picking nuts and bolts, you know, slinging them here and there, and you know, trying to get the truck back together.
Monkey wrenches, towels, anything it takes, get it back together, get out there, because these people want to see monster trucks, monster trucks, monster trucks.
I'll tell you what, Scott and I have been thrashing a little bit up here in the booth tonight, getting ready to go. We're ready now, Monster Patrol. Paul Schaefer set to go into battle, and he is a strong one against Predator and Alan Pizzo.
Quarterfinal round action. Remember, Monster Patrol got that bye run in the first round to get a feel for the course. Predator had to get out there and war with Reptoid, so we'll see how they come into the second round.
We will see, and Monster Patrol, this is, again, his first competition. You'll remember how easy he took it in the turn, tiptoeing around. Predator and Alan Pizzo is going to give him some competition here. So this is not a lock at all for Monster Patrol. He's now got to really go concentrate and focus, unlike when you have a bye round and there's no competitor out there beside him.
Just awesome to be here in the Astrodome with Pace Motorsports. Every seat in the house full. And I'll tell you, you want to see some great action tomorrow and Sunday. The Monsters are jamming in Fresno, California at the Fresno Fairgrounds.
Fun to watch them there. We get ready for Monster Patrol and Predator.
Predator got out of the gate well, but look at Monster Patrol come on.
And let's watch them in the turns as they take it. That's Monster Patrol there. He is not taking it like he did that first run. Monster Patrol. Wow, he got some air. Oh, my. And the crowd loves that. Monster Patrol wins. Paul Schaefer. What a run.
I'll tell you, at the end, I thought he was going to be our next man in no man's land. He got kind of on two wheels, but you can see Paul is thrilled about it. There is a problem on the truck. I'll tell you what, we'll have to see how the thrashing goes in the pits here in a minute with Monster Patrol.
I'm not surprised there's a problem on that truck after the way he ran. Let's look at Predator's run. Alan Pizzo. He didn't have a bad run. It just Monster Patrol was absolutely awesome that time.
Yeah, and the turn kind of slowed him a little bit. Monster Patrol ate him up in the turn, no question about it. As Pizzo hammers it, gives it everything he's got, but not quite enough. Now we'll look at Monster Patrol.
Okay, and where Monster Patrol, where he got this crowd roaring, was right after the turn. Watch here as he hammers it down and comes up over these cars. Watch. Oh, my.
He kind of came off the same way Gary Porter did earlier.
And look, and you see there that something broke off on the truck there at the end of the run.
Again, Paul has that wing, and I think that helped hold him down when he got in trouble there. Dan, Patrick, and Sampson now has to go up against Dave Pizzo and the Prowler, the winner into the semifinals, along with Monster Patrol.
All right, Dan Patrick with a lot under the hood. As you can see, there's a lot of Sampson fans who are here in the Astrodome tonight, ready to cheer him on, and he also has a go up against one of the Pizzos. Dave Pizzo and Prowler, and again, as I said, I like the way the Prowler really looks. It's got a great look to that truck, but so does Sampson.
It does.
Sampson's got that. Yeah, it looks like it's got a lot of muscle there.
And then inside the cockpit, Dave Pizzo's still trying to kind of earn his way up the ladder. Dan Patrick, one of the best, and he's going to try and pull the upset right here, but Patrick is always double tough to beat. Let's see how Sampson runs now.
All right, that is Sampson down at the bottom of your screen, and whoa! There is trouble in the turn. Sampson is going to win, but Pizzo just could not get his truck turned around.
Again, up on two wheels. We're seeing that a lot tonight as the momentum in the turns really carrying these guys into some precarious situations. Pizzo had to let off to get the truck to settle back down, and Dan Patrick was gone after that.
So Sampson will advance on. And we'll take a look at it again, and you will see that Prowler coming down into the turn. He really just tried too hard to make that turn.
I think so, and he knows he's up against Dan Patrick. He knows he needs a perfect run to beat Sampson, and not quite able to get it right there. And, you know, another great run for Dan. But let's get an ISO now with Prowler, as you'll see Dave Pizzo's problem in that turn. Right here.
Almost like he hammered into the throttle again a little bit too early.
Absolutely.
In that turn, and that's what caused the problem on Prowler. So the night is over for Prowler and Dave Pizzo. Sampson will move on, and Dan Patrick, the veteran.
You know, he may be the most consistent truck we've seen here on Motor Madness. He's made it into several finals, but still looking for that first Motor Madness victory. Maybe he gets it here in Houston, but he has really found ways to win races, or if he loses, still be fast enough to get to the next round.
Sampson moves on. Hey, we got Barefoot and Gravedigger. That's going to be a showdown. It is coming up next on TNN's Motor Madness.
Before it cracks.
Back at you with Motor Madness. You know, winter's over, but the monster trucks are just beginning their summer tours. Log online to pacemotorsports.com to get your tickets. Gravedigger, Bulldozer, and the rest will be racing in cities near you. So get your tickets now at pacemotorsports.com.
And here in the Astrodome, we're ready for more round 2 action. It is Barefoot and Gravedigger. You got to wonder about Barefoot, Todd Frolick, who won here last time. There's that flag. You see the checkered flag next to the Digger flag? That's what Gravedigger's trying to hang on to. But it's not going to be easy for Dennis Anderson. He doesn't have a machine that's 100%. And Todd Frolick, remember, won here the last time we were at the Astrodome. So I think Dennis Anderson has his work cut out for him.
No question about it. It's interesting you're seeing this in the second round to show you where we're at. I can't tell you how many times these two have met in a championship race over the years. Here they're just trying to make it into the semifinals because of this all-star cast in the dome.
Both get off to a great start. We'll see how they do coming down into the turn. Barefoot strong there. So is Digger. This is Digger's strength in that turn. Gravedigger is going to win. Oh, my. Todd Frolick got up on two wheels a little bit going over those cars, but give Dennis Anderson some credit. You hear the crowd in the background. Gravedigger advances on.
You see those skull and crossbones flags just like the Digger has on his truck in the stands. I mean, those things are everywhere. The kids all have them because they're Digger fans, and they're waving them on what was a great race. You know, both those drivers did a tremendous job at the end of the run to save the trucks. Both had a little problem at the end. Well, listen to the Digger fans.
Take a look at it again. You'll look at Barefoot, and I really thought the turn was the key in this run. Barefoot not bad in the turn, but Dennis Anderson was awesome.
Todd, you were looking damn good out there. What happened?
Oh, you know how it is. I had starter problems. I didn't get to the line in time, and throws off your sync, and I come out of the corner. You can see I got oil all over the whole side of the truck. Blew my my front steering out, and I just wanted it too bad.
When you went to that corner, you were really riding it hard.
Yeah, I thought it was close in the corner. I knew he was ahead of me, and I was just kind of counting on catching up to him, but I was out of control. I shouldn't have done it.
Oh, really? So could you have salvaged this race a different way, you think?
Yeah, I probably could have come back as fast qualifier and been back in the next round. Now I think I'm DQ'd because I missed the car, so I'll be out, but there's always freestyle.
But you did have one heck of a run the first time. The second start, you had a great start. You were right with Gravedigger, so you got to know that you're coming back stronger than you have for the past few weeks.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get better. I mean, like I said, the truck can do it. I just got to step up to the plate and get it done.
So a tough run for Todd Frolick, but Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger, and I can't emphasize enough how impressed we are with the job that they've done over the last week, just getting Digger ready to run here tonight.
The machine looks awesome. He looks incredible tonight. He's tough to beat.
All right, let's hear from Dennis Anderson about that run. Dan Moriarty's caught up with him.
Dennis, the comeback kid, and Barefoot looked damn good in the first round, and you just took him to school.
I don't know. I can't see. I'm just trying to drive my own race and keep my eyes on the road over here on this side. I could tell I done pretty good when I come back because my crew guys, they jumped about 3 foot off the ground. They normally jump about 2 foot off the ground, you know, so we were gunning for Barefoot. He runs strong. He's a real strong competitor, and my crew guys love for me to beat Barefoot.
Well, it's one heck of a team event for you guys because this past week, we all know it's documented. You had to put this puppy back together, make sure he was ready to go tonight. These 2 runs, you were just flying.
Well, good. I'm glad we're looking good. And, hey, I wouldn't be looking good without Josh Garcia, Cliff Thomas. They're my crew guys. Hey, we've got a bunch of people behind the scenes, too, that help keep things going. If it wasn't for all my fans and my crew guys, I think this old boy would have quit a long time ago.
Hey, guys, Gravedigger looks great going towards the semis. Back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. And here we are after round 2. We're ready for the semifinals, and that's going to be a good matchup there.
You see what Todd Prolick was talking about. The fast qualifier from that round, even though he loses, comes back. It would have been Barefoot, but Predator made the legal run. He'll be coming back in the semis.
And we'll preview the semifinals for you next on Motor Madness Monster Jam.
And Motor Madness. Hey, the Superdome's the next stop on the Pace Supercross circuit. But don't forget, the place to be for the Pace Supercross Finals is Las Vegas at Sam Boyd Stadium. Be on hand as the Supercross champion is awarded the #1 plate. Last year sold out, so get your tickets now. They're available at pacemotorsports.com.
No doubt about our Maylocks Minute. It was Gary Porter, Carolina Crusher, tore that truck apart when he rolled it over. He's going to have a job getting that fixed, getting ready for next week. We got semifinals coming up. Monster Patrol will be going up against Samson in one of them.
Samson's having some great runs, and again, he's hanging around toward the end. Predator is our surprise in the Final Four, but he's got to meet Gravedigger.
And let's get some final words from Dan Moriarty.
You know, Gravedigger looks an awful lot like this crash car right here. We're going to find out next week if he can hold on to the semis and finals, keep the truck together, and also keep that checkered flag. Also, Quad Wars. You've seen them before. These guys just do not like each other. For this week, see you later. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Dan. Time for the jam right now. We'd like to thank you for joining us on TNN's Motor Madness. For Scott Douglas, I'm Mike Hogwood. We'll see you next week here on Motor Madness Monster Jam. So long, everybody.